Hey guys, it's CJ. So, wanted to finally post this video that I've been kind of thinking about for a long time, especially over the past few months. We're seeing a lot of things that are going on with the way the government is being run, how protests are being turned into insurrection, and then tactics are being used that we probably wouldn't have accepted from any other president. But the real thing behind this is this kind of schismed viewpoint about what the issues are. Now, there's no question that the issues can be co-opted by radicalism on both sides. Black Lives Matter, white privilege, systemic racism. Everybody wants to argue it does or it doesn't exist, what it is. I don't think anybody in their right mind thinks that white privilege means that every white person in America wakes up with fairy dust sprinkled on their butts so that their whole life is just one sparkly, wonderful thing. And the other thing is that people often are trying to make a 1-0 conversation about what something like Black Lives Matter is. They'll say, well, all lives matter and blue lives matter. And the truth is, of course, all lives matter and of course blue lives matter. But that's not the point. The point of all of this is acknowledgement. You can't, the basic tenet of change is you can't change what you don't acknowledge exists in the first place. And to say that there's such a thing as white privilege is not to try to start a scholastic argument or a data-based discussion. What it is a simple acknowledgement that the system was created that way. You don't have to even be a really good historian to know that it was created that way, because when the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States were being written, the people writing them, who wrote all men are created equal, were slave owners, and and that government was in the process of disenfranchising and slaughtering Native Americans. And I'm not going to go into this whole thing about what the Native Americans really were versus what we think they were. What they were was the indigenous people. That's what they were. What they were was then treated over 500 times, in which, as far as I know, every one of them was broken. Who was that done by? Okay, that's what white privilege is. And that's why we have to acknowledge that it exists. It's not about guilt, it's not about shame, it's about looking at what is and saying, yeah, that is. And the same things with Black Lives Matter. I saw a great interview with Morgan Freeman, and he was saying that he doesn't like the idea of Black History Month because Black history is American history, and that to me is a truth. And the fact that people of color have risen to great heights in America is also a truth. But some people then make that argument, therefore racism doesn't exist. That's not a truth. The truth is, if you talk to every one of them, they all experienced racism. And they shouldn't have had to, because it's challenging enough to do anything from being in a poor economic situation to then being to be successful as the world sees it, without having to put up with someone judging you by the color of your skin. All right? So that's all these things are. And I'm not going to go much further than that, except to say one thing. And that is, scientists are really good at classifying things. Scientists classify things by, family and subfamily and sub-subfamily. And there's only one classification for human beings. There's no subset of Homo sapien on the planet. There's us, and that's it. And all our different nationalities and cultures, which are just awesome, are just that. They're nationalities and cultures. They don't change the fact that there's only one human being on the planet. It's us. And when we start treating each other like that, I think maybe things could get better. Something to think about. That's it. Short post. Take care. Bye.